Hi, I'm Radhia Gleis. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist, and I work at Austin Integrative Medicine here in Austin. The other day, somebody came up to me and they said, Radhia, if you could give me 3 things that would change my life and better my health and well-being, what would they be? So I'm going to ask you first to turn this video off and write the first thing. Just think of what could you do in your life that would change your life and better your health and well-being. The first thing I came up with was detoxification. You know, most people don't realize how important detoxification is. I mean, a colleague of mine the other day gave me a recent EPA study, and it stated that in our environment, we're exposed to up to 500,000 different toxins, and 50,000 enter into our atmosphere every year. So we can't see or taste or smell toxins, so sometimes we don't realize how much are in our environment and how much our body's exposed to them. We also don't realize how important it is to detoxify. And I really want to tell you a little bit about my story and how I got involved as a nutritionist, because it has a lot to do with toxins and detoxification. Many years ago, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago, but plenty, I used to be a graphic artist, and I was working at the time, I was working for Disney. I was working on the Epcot project, so that'll give you an idea of how long ago it was. Anyway, I was the youngest designer and the only female on the floor, so obviously I had a lot of stress going on in my life. I had so many different health challenges, I didn't really know what to do. I mean, I figured, you know, I'm only in my 20s at that particular time, and I feel horrible. I had weight problems and heart palpitations, and I had hypoglycemia, I had allergies, I had migraine headaches. I mean, I would get so tired at the end of the day by 4 o'clock, I'd have to crawl under my desk and take a siesta, otherwise I couldn't function. So I went to my regular allopathic doctor. He was our family doctor, and he's a good doctor. Actually, he was the chief cardiologist for Santa Monica Hospital. I went to him, and I told him about my heart palpitations, because that was a big concern. And his solution to me was to give me phenobarbital. Now, that's a class 2 narcotic. He might as well have given me heroin. Thanks a lot. I didn't have heart palpitations. I barely had a heartbeat. So I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. Nutritionists were few and far between in those days, and I did find one in Malibu. Her name was Renee Havig. She has no idea how she affected my life, but I went down to see her, and she was tough, I will tell you. She took a questionnaire, and she was asking me questions. She said, do you smoke? And I said, well, yeah. And she said, you don't want to do that anymore. And she checked no. I'm like, okay. She said, how many cups of coffee do you drink? And I'm thinking, you know, about 3 or 4 pots of coffee a day. And she goes, oh, and did you ever think that had something to do with your heart palpitations? No, I thought I was phenobarbital deficient, you know. So she said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to detoxify you. Now, first of all, realize I was an artist, and I was a commercial artist and an airbrush artist. You know, it never really occurred to me that breathing all of those fumes and blowing rainbows out of my nose might be a bad thing. So I said, okay, detoxification, let's do that. And so she told me what we were going to do, and I went, you got to be kidding. I'm going to do what? And she said, no, if you want to feel good, this is what I want you to do. So I did everything that she told me, and within a month, my life was changed. And I thought, wow, you know, I'm only in my 20s. If I was going the way I was going, I don't even want to know what I was going to be like when I was in my 40s or 50s or 60s. But I thought, wow, you know, I'm an educated woman. How come I didn't realize that over 90% of the reason why I was feeling so bad was things that I was actually doing to myself, and that I could correct them? So I was thinking, wow, people need to know this. And one thing led to another. I ended up going back to school and becoming a nutritionist and becoming a teacher and an educator. And actually, they call me the Detox Queen in Austin, because detox is really the thrust of my practice.